Alright, guys. I wanted to make this one because I was thinking about it recently. And I also had a conversation with a coworker about my perception of freedom. And at least in this current moment, what my perception of freedom is, right? So when you think freedom, you're like, wow, okay. Like, someone's free if they're able to do whatever they want, right? And a lot of times that's like linked to concepts of having something. Like, I have money, so I can have financial freedom to do what I want. And same thing with like, oh, I have free time. Like, I have a space of time in which I can use for whatever I'd like to do. And that's all fine and dandy. Like, that is freedom to an extent. But freedom has this like weird concept of like, what makes you free is the availability to do whatever you want to do. Stupidity wise, financially wise, like, just if it means that you could just not do what the norm of society wants you to do for a bit, or for what others want you to do for a bit, or what you need to do to survive for a bit, that's freedom, right? Being able to do the things that you want to do without having to be held to the circumstances of whatever it is that you normally held to. And I just thought about it and I was like, wow, like, that's true. But as of recent, with the concepts of like what I've been working on personally, like trying to create more content, like working out and trying to get my nutrition in check and everything, like, I've been thinking more so like the concept of Frieza. Oh my god, I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z. Like, the concept of Frieza. Let's put it this way, Frieza, right? Damn, everything goes back to like anime. If you've seen Dragon Ball Z, you know who Frieza is, okay? And let's put it this way, like, Frieza is really powerful in his saga, and he could do absolutely anything he wants. So he decides to just kill things and conquer planets and get the Dragon Balls because he wants to get even stronger or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Which is crazy to me. Because Frieza wanted to wish for immortality. I don't know why this has gone into an anime talk. And if you're watching this and you're not into anime, I'm so sorry. I will absolutely get back to what I was saying. But just the concept of Frieza popped in my mind, and it's like so crazy how this actually makes sense. Frieza wanted to wish for eternal life. I believe. If I'm wrong, then just disregard and throw away everything I'm saying right now. But like, I think Frieza wanted eternal immortality, right? And or was that Vegeta? Damn. Whatever. My point goes into the idea of Frieza. If you see him later in the DBZ or DB Super series, you realize that Frieza, if he just trained for a bit, he's like epically powerful. You know, his whatever he is. If they train, they get stronger by immense levels, and the reason they stay where they're at is because they don't train, apparently. So, which doesn't make sense to me, because if he fought Goku, wouldn't he have gotten stronger and then have to have Trunks just slice him up afterwards? Anyway, whatever. I'm going way off topic. I'm so sorry, but my point is that freedom does not always have to be linked to having something or utilizing some sort of resource. Freedom can be similar to what I was mentioning about Frieza, is like just being able to choose to do something and then doing it. Like, that's freedom as well, right? Obviously, freedom's debatable. Like, people can say this is freedom, that's freedom, blah, 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 blah. But freedom, true freedom, is being able to do what you want, right? So why is the theme forgotten? Why is the message forgotten when it comes to doing things that you should be doing to reach the goals that you want to reach, even if they're hard, even if they're difficult? Why is it lost in translation that freedom is also encompassing the idea that, hey, I have the freedom to put myself through the grinder every single day with my nutrition, with my fitness, with my content creation, with putting myself out there out of my comfort zone, with strategic moves that I'm making at my job, or whatever it is that you are doing potentially, or I'm doing potentially. Who's to say that freedom is not literally the concept of being able to tell myself internally or externally to do something, and having full free control over what I tell myself to do? If that happens to be eating the 200 grams of protein a day, or if that happens to be going to the gym every day, or going to bed at a certain time, or waking up at a certain time, if that has to do with waiting and not doing certain things that are not going to be good for my health or my mindset or whatever the case is, why is that not considered freedom? And okay, maybe it is considered freedom, but why is it not considered freedom by like many, right? Like, you have the ability to control yourself limitlessly. That is literally, among everything else, financial freedom, time freedom, all of that. That is absolutely probably the top tier of freedom. Is because, like, if you don't have money, you can control yourself and have the freedom to choose to take actions that will inevitably get you more money. Now, obviously, people do things like that negatively and get money negative ways. Don't do that. But concept-wise, freedom, and the way I think about it is like, yeah, if I decided to make and take actions every single day that brought me towards the end goal of making more money, and even if it's hard and difficult or not something that I really absolutely would naturally do unless I pushed myself to do it, why is that not freedom to be able to command my vessel, command me to do that? Why is it not freedom to say, I have free time, but within this free time, I'm going to do this, this, or this, and just do it because you told yourself to do it. Like, you are free, right? So I was just battling and thinking of this concept of freedom recently, and I thought I'd share it with you guys and ask for your opinion on it, because I was also having that conversation with my coworker, and she was saying that life is somewhat of a video game, you know, and that there's moments where you level up and places where you level up and places where you recoup and get your inventory right and your stats up and all that stuff, and then you go out and you go towards the actual goals to conquer. And that's absolutely true. But if life is a video game, and if you're watching this, my coworker friend, if you see this as well, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. Probably, well, tomorrow, I think it's a holiday, but whatever. Or anyone online who wants to kind of talk to me about this in the comment section, because this is a segment where, like, honestly, I just tell you like what's on my mind, and if you think that it's interesting, you want to listen, that's cool. And if you don't, then that's cool too. But concept wise, like, even if life is a video game, even if it's like a simulation, like AI, we are an AI prompt. Like, I've been seeing that so much on Instagram and TikTok lately. But like, if we were actually AI prompt or AI or anything like that, right? Like, that still means that we are an NPC or a character in the game. Now, yes, we can be non-playable, and that's debatable too. Like, really, do we have control over ourselves, and do we have control over blah, 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 and all that stuff? And I'm not going to dive into that because I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But if it is a video game, who has the controller, and is ultimate freedom when we're able to go ahead and use that controller to do what we want for our character, right? And again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I can't like speak for things that I don't know. And I'm sure the internet and those who are going to see this video, you're going to know way more than me. Like, you've gone down the rabbit hole. I'm sure you've gone down the Reddit forums. You're in the back rooms. You know exactly what's going on, and you have your thought processes on it and everything. But like, at least for me and what I'm going through right now in this moment in time, in this history phase of my life, like history phase, I'm so stupid the way I speak sometimes, but like, where I am right now, like, at least for this moment in time, freedom for me is being able to command myself to do something, and then I do it. And if I can't do it right away, commanding myself to take the necessary steps every single day to reach that end goal. I feel like that's true freedom. Because realistically, you can't control other people and other things. You can only control yourself. You can control how you react to those things. You can control what you do in response to those things, right? But ultimately, you can't control anything but yourself. Yes, I guess there's small things here and there you could probably control, but like, concept-wise, in a fair world, you can only control yourself. So I've just been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about this concept of freedom, and I am choosing at this moment in time to control myself to my best capabilities and to get out of whatever it is that's not something that I would control myself if I were optimally set to do the things I want to do. I guess I am human still, right? We're not robots and we're not aliens or anything. Like, it makes sense that we are flawed as well. So not always having that control is there. But I guess the closest we can get to that realm of like being able to control ourselves to do the things that we want to do, I feel like that is like ultimate freedom. So tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.